didn't see you guys there. Whew. We are live on this beautiful Monday morning. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I pray you and your family are super blessed as Bitcoin is taking a massive, horrible, terrible dump right from the Fibonacci golden pocket. The 618 Fibonacci is right. Our high school crushed the 618, the Fibonacci, breaking our hearts. When we ask her out on a date and she rejects us because we're in the friend zone and we see a big purple candle coming right from the 618 Fibonacci golden pocket. That's exactly what we are seeing right now. If we look at the chart, oh my goodness, would you look at this? The short trade that I told my community I was 100% entering no matter what the chart looked like. Last week in the VIP live stream, I said I am shorting this level no matter what to at least protect my longs. Is up right now 195%. Wow. Snapshot this one for the Twitter, baby. Not gonna take profit, but I am gonna take a screenshot, baby. That's how us YouTube traders do it, man. Look at this, man. Imagine me posting this one on Twitter. How cool everyone's gonna think I am. Man, that Jason Casper, what a great trader he is, man. Taking the screenshot, baby. Wow, would you look at this? We're also in a long trade from the exact bottom. Oh my goodness, Jason Casper, how is this even possible? Jason, how is this possible? How is that even possible? Jason, how? How? My goodness, Jason Casper, you shock me. Let me take a drink of coffee to calm my nerves. Whoa, it's having the opposite effect. Guys, I kid you not. This is a really bad sign. This, what you see on your screen here, this trade that you see here is a sign of danger. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. The market maker has a nice way of messing with your boy Jason Casper. There's a 100% chance that we're going to dump lower than this based on my historical data that I've collected in my statistics. Which is this, guys. This trade you see right here, this trade you see right here is the same trade that I was in last week. Look at the entry. Just to prove it to you. Entry 111617.4. 111. Wait a second. Where's my entry price? 111617.4. The same trade. That's right. They wicked it down to my literal entry, guys. Okay. Now, in the history of my trading, whenever this happens, the market maker is teasing me. They're teasing me. They're like, Jason, we're not going to stop you out, man. Look, we're going to dump it while you're asleep, but we're not going to stop you out. So when you wake up, you have hope. You have a ray of hope. You know what I'm saying? You have this ray of hope that just makes you want to scream into the plunger on the treadmill while you're live streaming. Right? But guess what? Later on, they stop me out anyway. Okay? This happens to me all the time. I'm not even kidding you guys. This happens to me all the time on like these long trades that I hold where they wick down to the exact entry just to tease me. Just to tease me. All right. But we'll see what happens. I am so thankful I took the profits on this trade from the last live stream that I did where you guys saw me take the profits. Right? Because I was only at $4,000 at the time. Now I've got my 10 grand locked in, and obviously the trade over on WEEX, the long trade, did get stopped out. All right, did get stopped out. In profit, by the way, in like $9,000 profit. So we're all good. And the short trade is right now cranking it up. All right, we're cranking up the shorts, baby. We're cranking it. We're cranking. Man, I have to be honest with you. The title of the video says live. Okay, but we're going to talk about the charts right now and what I think is going to happen here, because this is really not good. I'll be honest with you guys. This is a make it or break it right here at 113,000. What happens today is really going to determine my view of the rest of the fall and winter. Okay, we got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. In the chat, first of all, major shout out to I got you, Craig. Craig, I got you, bro. I got you, my man. All right, I got Craig, man. It's been a long process, but I owe Craig $300. All right, I lost the bet. And Craig, I owe you $300, bro. I appreciate you, man. God bless you, Craig. Thank you so much for being a supporter of the Jason Casper YouTube channel, man. All right. This is a make or break level here for the Bitcoin price. All right. And the thumbnail's a little bit bearish today, guys, but there is still a little bit of hope. We're going to do some top-down analysis. Shout out to Craig. Shout out to John Blake. Shout out to Fred Sloan. He did a whole bunch of exercises this morning. He did pull-ups, push-ups, chin-ups, dips, and punch in the bag. You know, I have to say this morning, it was a leg day for me. It was an intense bro-style leg day. No squats. No squats. All right, shout out to Marsalis. No squats today. Leg presses, Romanian deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats, hip thrusts, and then leg extension, leg curl, and some decline sit-ups. And of course, I always start all my workouts with calves. No matter what, upper body, lower body, always my calves first. Okay? You can't tell by looking at my calves, but always calves first. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Larry Garcia. Shout out to Jonathan Morris. No, Juanita didn't send me back to McDonald's. Shout out to Lightbot. Shout out to Benja. Shout out to Coin Profit. Shout out to Lasse O-A-N, who apparently has a friend named Jesus. Shout out to A Few Things Capital. I'm back in the saddle. Shout out to my man Retail Ryan. Shout out to Kooky Sunny Z, who says, "Hi, Big Daddy." Shout out to Chris the Tramp, who says, "It's okay, Jay. We still love you, man. I still love you, too. All right? I love all of you." Shout out to Toon, who says, "City Dump." Shout out to Zavid Zavundavandi. Zavid Zavundavandi, an Italian man from Italy. Whoops. Shouldn't have said that probably. No offense, man. You know, I love you, Zavid Zavundavandi. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Biscuits. Look at the monthly chart, which is going to tell you which way it's going. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to the Real PG. All right. Shout out to the Nothing is Real. The Real PG. Nothing is falling. Nothing is falling. Shout out to Theoria, Antonopolis, and Steak Sauce. Good old A1. Haven't had A1 in mad long. Is the bull run over? Guys, honestly, I'll be real, okay? Yes, the bull run is over. The bull run is 100% over, okay? I think the bull run's over. I'm not gonna lie. Could we get a double top and another pump? Yeah, we could. We might make another high, but I do think the bull run's over. It's over. We could make another high, like we could hit 125, 130K, but I do think the bull run's over. And I think this sell the news event here, obviously this whole run up, this whole pathetic run up here was literally just the rumor of the rate cut slowly, painfully causing us to grind up this weak move, being rejected from our high school crush. She rejected us, and she'd rather date Sam Bankman-Fried with his crooked, uneven man boobs, which reminds me, when we look at the chart here on the 4-hour time frame, we are in fact seeing the bearish Sam Bankman-Fried man boob pattern here, as the price is making higher highs, the 4 hours making lower highs, the money flow is getting lower. I didn't want to believe it. You know, I was saying as long as we don't lose 113, it's all gravy. But here we are under 113,000 right now. Under 113,000. And unless we reclaim that, man, this is really not looking good. Not only are we under 113,000, but take a look at this. We are underneath the VWAP from the low that we made on September 1st. All right, the 1st of September, we're below that anchored VWAP. Our only hope right now is this, guys. Fibonacci golden pocket from the low to the high, coming in at around $111,000. All right, confluence with the high volume node of this range here. All right, this is really our last hope here before coming back down to the lows way under $110,000. So a bullish scenario right now, honestly, guys, is going to have to be a bounce from this area and then a reclaim of the value area low and the anchor VWAP And then that would be super bullish, right? Something like this happening here, that would actually be quite bullish. We have very, very oversold momentum. But here's the reality of the situation. This is not what I wanted to see, and I'll tell you why. We'll start on our monthly chart. All right, the monthly chart right now, we have a week left of September. It's about to confirm another drive of bearish divergence. I'm just being real. I'm going to be real this stream. I'm going to get some haters. I don't care. Look, we're about to confirm a monthly bear div. It's not what we want to see, but it's 8 days. We have 8 days. The weekly. Oh my goodness. We're about to get another trigger wave here after the bear div, right? So monthly bear div, weekly trigger wave, bearish. Then we go to like our 3-day. The 3-day was keeping me so bullish last week. Let's go to our daily. Man, the daily money flow was keeping me so bullish last week. But this rejection from the golden pocket, it does not look good. It does not look good. So here's my honest mentality right now. What we want to see is we want to see this uptrend continue. We don't want to lose this uptrend, right? So we've got our high, our low, our higher high. Yeah, our higher low. We'd have to come down to around 111,000-ish, and this has to hold here for this uptrend to continue, getting some kind of a trigger wave here, a nice trigger wave here. All right, so what I really need to see to be bullish and expect upside right now is a holding of 111,000 support and or a reclaim of the anchor VWAP at 113.5. All right, 113.5 is very key. Let's just strip everything down here and just understand that the value area low of this range here, this is the important level, okay? Whenever price comes below the fair value zone, it's considered undervalued Bitcoin. So if we can close the daily candle today above this level, that is actually quite nice, right? Above 113.5. That is nice. That is showing us that the market indeed does consider this cheap Bitcoin and they're buying it back. That's what we need to see. All right. And what I also don't want to see is I don't want to see a loss of the golden pocket down here. All right. So this box right here for me, depending on what happens today, is going to determine my bias for the rest of the week. Okay. If we can bounce from this box today, that does give me hope. But if we cannot, that makes me pessimistic that we are probably going to be coming back down towards 107,000, toward maybe even 105,000. And then once we come down to that level, that's going to be another big make it or break zone, because look, the harsh reality of this here, guys, is, let me remove everything right now. The tough reality is that if the Bitcoin price does come back down below this level here, then for the first time in 4 years, we are seeing a change in the uptrend. We have never seen Bitcoin since 2022 in November form a sideways range, break out, and then come back in. We have never seen that. So if we see that, that is not good. That is really not good. That is going to mean an extended period of downside. Okay? You want to call it a bear market? You call it what you want to call it. All right? But every single time we get the range, right? We get the sideways range and we break out. We did not come down even close to that range, right? We get the sideways range, we break out, didn't even come close, right? We had the sideways range here. We broke out, we came back down to retest and got the bounce, okay? Now we have, again, we had the sideways range here. We came down for the back test and we got the bounce. All right, this breakout has been different. This breakout has had less follow through than previous breakouts. And so the 105 to 107 level is so key that if we're going to lose that, we have to acknowledge the fact that we have not seen anything like this before. And the probabilities are highest for more downside. All right. The fact that we have bearish divergences on our monthly is not good. And so today, when I look at this chart, this is not necessarily the most bullish thing in the world to see that the value area low of our range is currently potentially being lost, okay? So that's why this is why it's so crucial that 113 we close the daily candle above if we want to see more upside. If not, then the chances are most likely we're coming back down to the bottom of the local range, which is going to be this here. All right. And you can just see how easily that could happen, right? As easily as we came down here is as easy as we could come back down to the box, because this whole way up, we are building liquidity here, right? We are basically, whenever you could draw a diagonal trend line like this, these are stop losses, right? You have to think of this as stop losses. And once you lose that level, the stop losses get triggered, and each stop loss is another sell order, and the sell order pushes the price down more and more and more. So if we're not going to bounce from our Fibonacci golden pocket, right, guess what? What do we have the whole way up is this. Stop losses. Which means instead of bouncing from the golden pocket and we lose it, boom, 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 sell orders getting triggered, stop losses getting triggered, boom, 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 big liquidity grab, we easily come back down to the bottom. And also you'll notice this pattern a lot with Bitcoin. And again, I want to make it very clear that I'm not here to predict what's going to happen. I'm just here to tell you like my thoughts on the chart right now, which is, you know, what happens here is going to determine my bias. If we cannot close the daily candle above this level, then probabilities are highest. Yeah, we're going to come lower. And once we start coming lower, probabilities are highest. We're going to get a slick wick down to the lows. That's what the probabilities are, okay? Not what we want to see. You know, ever since we reclaimed the value area low, probabilities were highest that we hit value area high. And, you know, last week I was saying I'm still expecting this to happen. This is still most probable, so long as we don't lose this, okay? So, this is still possible if we can close the daily candle above 113 and this move below is just a wick, right? If tomorrow this move below is just a wick, that's very different than if tomorrow this is a terrible looking daily candle close, all right? We want to see tomorrow price back up here, because if price is back up here, then we can say, ah, look, big impulse, correction, bouncing from value area low or bouncing from key support. And yeah, once again, probabilities are highest that we come up here. However, if we don't bounce from the support and tomorrow there's no wick, well, then we say, okay, we didn't bounce. We didn't bounce from there. So that changes the probabilities now. That changes the probabilities, right? And here's something else. I'm still, although I do understand the different views here. Make sure to smash up the likes, by the way. I do understand the different views of the 4-year cycle. I am still currently a believer of the 4-year cycle here. All right? Which means this. We are out of time, man. It's almost October. We are running out of time for that last big push. We're running out of time for altcoin season, man. We are running out of time. And, you know, it's basically, as it is every cycle, man, the 2-month printing a red dot right now. We see these bearish signs print every single bull market. And our expectation is that, yes, we see the bearishness, we recognize the bearishness, we recognize the top is near because of the 4-year cycle. We recognize it's been 3 years, 22, 23, 24, 20. It's been 4 years. Wow. Really? 2023, 2024. It's been 3 years. Okay. I'm really bad at math. I'm a high school dropout. Give me a break. Okay. I was never going to amount to anything in my life. Still haven't really, honestly, when I think about it. But, besides that, right? We see the bear signs and we're like, we recognize they're bearish, but look, there's still, because there's such high time frames, there's still chance to do this and that, and you know, and then the top is in and eventually we come down. But we are running out of time for that to happen. And the rejection that we have gotten from this key resistance, this is quite a rejection. Now, what are some, let's look at some possible silver linings here. Silver lining number one is the CME futures gap. All right, we got ourselves the CME futures gap. Oh wait, no we don't, because this happened on a Sunday. Man, I'm confused on my days. We have no CME futures gap, man. This is crazy. We don't have a gap. Never mind. Oof, less silver lining than thought, guys. Oh my goodness, wow. Sheesh, no gap. All right, forget about it. Let's talk about some silver linings. I can't even think of any because this happened after Asia opened. This didn't even really happen on a weekend, but New York had nothing to do with it. Okay, so we'll see what happens in New York. Yeah, I can't really think of any silver linings right now on this. We just have the hope of closing the daily candle back above this level, and then once we're holding above value area low, we could look for the move back up. Okay, now something else that does concern me about this is the following. Remember, we've been saying here for quite some time, which is why I took this short trade, which is why I told the community last week during the VIP live stream. I said I am going to short this no matter what. I'm taking a short here no matter what. I was in $900,000 worth of long trades. It was irresponsible of me not to short this, because if, and I'm not saying it is, okay, but if the high is in here, then this is the lower high, okay? If the top is in for the cycle, this is the lower high. This is the short to take. If this is the top, which we don't know if it is, but if it is, then this is the bear market moneymaker right here. This is the big short right here, okay? If this is the top, then this is the big short that we're going to ride down all the way for the next year or so of the bear market, okay? And so that's the other thing that really concerns me about this price action right now, is the fact that where we are rejecting from has the potential to bring much worse things, because we are in this uptrend, right? We're in this uptrend. We're in the low, the high, the higher low, the higher high, the higher low. But now, locally, if you look at this, locally, we've made a local lower low, and this would be a local lower high, right? That's why it is so important what happens at this area, because we still have the chance of this being a higher low from this, as long as we can reclaim 113, and then we still have that chance of the higher high. But this right here, based on the local price action of the high, the lower low, the lower high, this could be the beginning of now another lower low. Like, it really could be. So we can't know for certain which one it's going to be, okay? But look, that's why we got to just trade what the charts are giving us, which is why I said last week in the Casper Crew VIP live stream that we do every single week, JasonCasperTrading.com, where myself and the other instructors give the trade setups in advance. We let people know what we're doing if we're taking the trade. All right, myself, Boyan, and others, Thor, White Phoenix. All right, so I said last week in the Casper Crew, I'm taking this trade no matter what, because it's just such an important level. It's actually irresponsible not to short it if you are positioned heavily in Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff, right? So, where does that leave us now? Well, once again, you know, long from the exact bottom. And I have to say this. Again, I cannot think of a single time. This would be the first time in all history for your boy, Jay Casper, where this happens. If we don't dump further, this will be a big change, because, again, this long trade you see here from 111,617.4, from literally the exact bottom, is the same trade I was in last week from 111,617.4. All right, this is the same exact long trade. I did not long the bottom. Price wicked down literally to my entry. Did not stop me out. And like I said, this happens to me a lot. Whenever I'm holding like these big long positions, these swing-ish trades, they always come and wick to my entry and then give me that ray of hope and then stop me out anyway. So I'm expecting this trade to get stopped out in about $10,000 worth of profit. But this to me tells me that lower is most probable right now locally. And so because I feel lower is probable locally, that's why I'd say, you know what, let's look for that golden pocket. Because if this is, right, an actual higher low on the macro, right? If this is an actual higher low in the big uptrend since April, low, high, higher low, higher high. If this really is a higher low, this is where we need to bounce from to continue that structure of higher low and then making a higher high. And this is simply just a retracement within the bigger move, right? It's going to be so key right now. We got to be watching for a bounce from that level with some bullish divergences. Now, the 4-hour time frame, I do have to say, let's take a look at market Cipher here. Let's take a little zoom out on MCB. Between you and me, we're going to take a quick look at MCB. Okay, so some good news. Oh, man, this is the most ugly. This is ugly and pitiful. This whole rise has been pitiful. This slow rise where, I mean, it took us how long? It took us, you know, it took us 9 days to grind up. And then we're back down to the bottom in 3 days, man. And the majority of that move happened in about an hour. All right, it took us 9 days to slowly grind up, and then the majority was given back in an hour. That is not a good look. This price action looks really wreckable. Like, it looks like we want to take it all, honestly. But the one good thing about the 4-hour here is that the money flow is getting higher, which does mean there is the potential, depending on how long we stick around here, to start forming some kind of, you know, range and then go for the lows and form, you know, the nice bottom with a potential kind of bullish divergence here. The other good thing about this, right, is the fact that it also is a hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. So we have a hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour as we're coming down to key support. That is one good thing about this. Let's check out the hourly. The hourly potentially could be setting us up for a regular bullish divergence here. We're very oversold down here. So that is some good stuff. Like, it's very rare that the 4-hour, if the 4-hour prints a green dot down here at market Cipher B being -92, that's very rare. The last time we saw that actually was over here in April. And that just so happened to be the bottom. Okay, that was the bottom. The time before that, it was not the bottom, but it was a very significant bottom. It's pretty much guaranteed, and nothing's guaranteed in trading, but here's the thing. It is pretty much guaranteed that if we get a green dot on the 4-hour, this oversold, that we are going to see at least some relief here. Okay? It's almost guaranteed that a 4-hour green dot on market Cipher, this oversold, is going to give us some kind of relief. And in my opinion, that relief would have to be coming in at least back up to around 114.5, where we have the obvious support resistance flip right here, confluence with the Fibonacci golden pocket, right? So if we do hold this area, we see the green dot, let's say then I'd be looking for a move back up to at least 114.5. Definitely should be a TP1 if you're looking for a long trade from that area, right? If we're looking for a long from this area, that should definitely be a take profit 1. Lock in a gain there and keep the rest as a runner. That could also offer an opportunity for another rejection and making a lower low, coming back down to the bottom of the range here. Okay. Those are going to pretty much be our key levels right now for the day. 111,000 and then 114.5, where, you know, those are very, should I say, are very important levels. Okay, those are the very important levels right now. This is a pretty big deal here, and it does make me think, you know, look, I was totally wrong. I thought we were going to make a new all-time high leading up into the FOMC and the time surrounding FOMC. But it really looks like what happened was what I was expecting, but on a much smaller scale. So like the FOMC news gave us this only into the POC for the rejection, instead of giving us the pump up to a new high for the rejection, okay? And so the fact that we're seeing, this is the sell the news, right? This is the sell the news right now, which means the catalyst that I was hoping for to spark the new all-time high and then the dump didn't happen. So now it's like, okay, so what could happen now that could give us one more big push? The only thing that could happen is like a short squeeze. Let's take a look at the order flow. Let's see what actually happened on the way down, because I honestly have not looked at the order flow yet. Let me take another sip from my market Cipher mug. Hand wash only, guys, please. I put this in the dishwasher. You know, a big achievement in my life as a trader is being able to buy a really fancy dishwasher. You know, for years I washed dishes by hand. All right, I'm the dishwasher in this house. My wife don't wash dishes, but she does a lot of other stuff I don't want to do. All right, so we have our little secret deals, right? Like I don't change diapers. In fact, to this day, I don't even know if my son poops. I have no idea. My oldest son, I have no idea if he poops, because he was potty trained so early. When he was like 2, he was like pooping by himself and wiping and flushing by himself, right? So he went right from diapers right into the toilet. To this day, I have no idea if he even poops. I see him eat, I assume he poops, but for all I know, you know, I don't have the empirical data in front of me. All right, and I don't have that pile of crap right here to look at myself. I have no idea. Never changed his diaper once. All right, but let's see. We're gonna go over here to okay, oof. Oof. Let's see here. Okay, so this was obviously a big squeeze on the way down. This is a 15-minute chart, by the way. So a big decrease of open interest. Longs absolutely destroyed here. Let's put on some net longs, net shorts. Just get a little bit more clarity. Oof. Okay, so longs wrecked, and then shorts. Wow, let's take a look at this. Would you look at this? 174 million shorts, opening up around 112,666. Those shorts are currently slightly in profit. So here's what could happen right now. We know we have over 100 million shorts here, almost 200 million shorts in this one candle. All right. If we start to come above this area, and again, if we reclaim 113,000, it's amazing. Isn't it amazing how the shorts opened up literally at the support? They're opening up around 113. So if we come back above the support, we will be having 170 million shorts trapped underwater. That could lead to a short squeeze. And that short squeeze, it could lead to a short squeeze. We don't have very, very many shorts to squeeze, to be honest here. Simply because open interest is down, right? We open interest isn't the best. Nonetheless, we could still see a squeeze. And if we start to see some buyers step in, we could easily, again, we need to reclaim 113,000. And if we do, then it would be easy to take out this. And then why not go for our value area high? Because, again, in hindsight, remember, guys, here's the thing. We reclaim 113,000, which means this is simply a wick, which means it's a bounce, right? Tomorrow, if this daily candle closes above 113, that means it's bullish. It's a bullish candle, right? We're seeing the level defended. We see the level defended. We know we have almost 200 million shorts that shorted the exact, not the exact low, but they basically shorted when we lost 113. So we could see the recipe for a short squeeze and then buyers stepping in once we reclaim value area low, which would then put our probabilities at 120,000. All right. And again, the 4-hour market Cipher B, I cannot think of a single time in all of Bitcoin history where we have a momentum wave down below 92 like this, and the green dot doesn't give us at least a significant amount of relief here. We go back and just back test the very oversold 4-hour green dots. I mean, even in this one here, it did give us some relief. All right. After we get the confirmation, it wasn't much, but even still, 2%. You know, so I think we're going to get some kind of bounce from this area today. Whether we come down a little bit lower to take out this low again, or we somehow just hold right here and then start to shoot up, I do think we're going to get a bounce today based on this very oversold 4-hour. The real determining factor, I'd say, is going to be, can we close the daily candle above 113, right? If we get a big short squeeze up and then just reject from here and close the candle back down, which is very likely, you know, then we'd say that looks pretty weak. You know, we'd say that looks pretty weak. And, you know, let's go back to the daily chart here and just, like, kind of think about what that candle would look like. You know, even if we get a move up to 114.5 today and we see the wick start to form, but then we close without that wick, yeah, not good. Lo tov, no bueno. I think those are the only 3 languages I know how to say not good in: Hebrew, English, and Spanish. Lo tov, no bueno, not good. You know? So that's kind of where I'm at with the Bitcoin, and honestly, the altcoins are going to be following too. Look at ETH. ETH right now, I do have to say, it looks pretty nice in the sense that we have taken the low, bouncing from the value area high. And ETH does have a bullish div on the daily potentially here. Let's go to our 4-hour. Hidden bull div on the 4-hour. There actually is some nice hope here for ETH to see a much bigger move to the upside than Bitcoin. You know, one thing is this: Bitcoin, as we know, even if the top is in, you know, as long as we're ranging between 105 and 125, it's a $20,000 range. But as long as we're ranging within there, it does give us hope for altcoins to see one last big push. The fact that ETH is right now coming down to major support, which is like that backtest of $4,000. We've taken all the liquidity, even the liquidity back here from the 19th of August. We're potentially forming a bullish divergence on the daily time frame, even though money flow looks like garbaggio. You know, this could actually give us something like a big push to the upside here. Honestly, it could. It has the potential to start something big. All right, so for ETH, what do we want to see? Well, we got to see a close above 4,200. All right, 4,200. We want to see that daily candle close above 4,200. This choppy little range here, I mean, this was just begging to get taken. We took it. Let's see what happens. If Bitcoin can close above 113, that's great for Bitcoin. If ETH can close above 4,200 today, that is great for ETH. If we see ETH losing 4,000, oof. Man, we could come back down. Let's see where we could come back down to. Ooh. This is also our Fibonacci golden pocket. Man, this is such a key level for ETH. If we're going to get a... If you guys are bullish, these are such key levels, man. To be looking for that last big hurrah. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty neutral right now. Like, I know I was super bullish all September. It was because of the market structure. It's because of a lot of factors. But now I've got to kind of say, I just don't know. And I got to wait and see what happens before I put any big money on. Obviously, I'm not going to make $100,000 on that long. But at least I'm probably guaranteed to make like 18 grand. So whatever, I'll take it. I will take it. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Shouts to everybody in the chat. We got full German. Let's see if the market makers will stop out Jason Kasper today. I think 77K is the long to make. I still have that inverse perp open, Jay. For Ethereum, I still got it open, man. I still got it open. You know, it is what it is. CZ needs to go back to jail. I like CZ. Like, I don't really know anything about him, to be honest with you. But I do like the guy because he's a crypto guy. All right, us crypto guys got to stick together. Bitcoin to 25 to 35 low this bear market. See you there? Nah, I don't think so. Craig says AVAX is holding strong. That's good. Tax season is coming. Yeah, I guess, right? Don't we pay taxes like multiple times a year? I think I pay taxes every quarter. I don't know. My accountant deals with all that stuff. Blue Mountain Fire says, if we get the bill passed to buy Bitcoin for strategic reserve, then we're going up. Maybe. That could be a catalyst. That could be the catalyst. Shout out to Lance. The 4-year bull cycle is coming to an end. Yeah, I'd say the bull market's over already. And the thing is, could we get a double top? Yeah. Okay. So this range here, like this range right here, we could still trade. We could even come down to 105, wick back up to like 125 to 130, and that will be the top. But I'd say that this general range here is the top. Right? This right here, this is the high for Bitcoin. And if we go to like the monthly chart on Bitcoin, and let's remove everything here. We go to the monthly chart. It's gonna, right now, this would be our top right here. Like this little chunk will be the top. So yeah, I'd say the top is in. Could we dump down to 105 and bounce back up to like 132? Yep, we could. And guess what? That means the top is still in. Okay, because in hindsight, even if we do this, that's still the top. Okay, considering that this is the bottom. So yeah, and so here's the thing. I still have to be a believer in the 4-year cycle. Until I'm wrong, I still have to believe in the 4-year cycle, right? And we can go back to, let's just look at it, right? Every single time, every single 4-year cycle, the bottom of Bitcoin is in the same Fibonacci place between the 786 and 886. It happened in 2011. It happened in 2015. It happened in 2019. It happened in 2022. And so let's just talk about where that would be. Assuming a $150,000 Bitcoin, that's going to be a $44,000 Bitcoin. If our top is in now, that's going to be around a $40,000 Bitcoin, guys. All right, we're going to take out 50K, and we're going to come down into the zone between $30,000 and $40,000. All right. Yeah, so whoever said $34,000 Bitcoin, I think you're pretty spot on, actually. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's just the 4-year cycle. So from here, that's about a 70% dip, which is totally normal, right? Last time we had a 75% dip. The time before that, we had an 80% dip. The time before that, we had about an 85% dip. And the time before that, we had about a 90% dip. So the dips do get less every time, which is why this time I think we might front run that 786 and come down to around a $40,000-ish Bitcoin. Basically, a good. If we're buying Bitcoin under 50K, man, that is what's up, honestly. And I'll bet you a lot of people are going to be calling for this zone of support right here for the bear market bottom because it's just so beautiful. And so we just front run, right? We just front run. We come down, and we front run that and then get our bounce. This is what I think is going to happen. Could I be wrong? Of course. I was wrong about hitting our new all-time high in September, unless something crazy happens in the next week, which it could. It totally could. Don't get me wrong. But I have a feeling that the FOMC was the gas that was going to get us there, and now that it's happened and we've already kind of seen a sell-off, it's like, is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough? Unless they pass some kind of crypto bill. But, yeah, so again, guys, we have like almost 200 million shorts trapped underneath this level right here. All right. So we reclaim 113 and 114.5 would be the next place. All right. Guys, make sure to sign up to KCEX for the best fees in the world. Make sure to sign up to BLOFIN. BLOFIN right now, I've worked out a special deal with BLOFIN. They're giving very, very low fees as well. Also, make sure to sign up to the Casper Crew VIP Discord if you want to join the best trading community in the world. May the Lord bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. You know, tonight is Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets, Yom Teruah. It's the day where we remember what the Lord has done in the past and how he has come through for his people with the great blast of a trumpet, and where we look forward to the fact that very soon he's going to once again come through for his people with a great blast of a trumpet, a great battle cry, and gather his people to himself. And so if you love the Messiah, I wish everybody a joyous celebration. I'm going to head out, guys. We got a VIP stream in the Casper Crew. And I will see you guys later. Peace.